Well, today I'm back down my allotment. A few jobs to do as it's nice and not too hot, it's not too cold either, it's not raining. I'm going to do 2 rows of potatoes, my first earlies and second earlies, and my shallots, red onion and brown onions from sets, because the seeds I sowed at home haven't really done much at the moment. So I've bought sets as well, just as a backup. And then I'm going to sow 1 row of carrots, 1 row of parsnips and some beetroots. I'm only going to do 1 row of them because obviously I don't want them all to grow at the same time, so I'll do it in succession, give it another 3 weeks and then sow some more. But today, I'm just do those potatoes, carrots, beetroots, parsnips and onions. So I've got me feed for my potatoes, which then I don't have to feed for the rest of the year. It lasts all season while the crops are growing. What I do, I dig the hole, and if you remember or didn't see my last video with my potatoes, I use an auger. You just attach it to your drill like a normal drill bit, and then just make the holes. I don't dig trenches because that is back breaking. So I dig a hole, sprinkle the potato feed over it, and then just plant the potato and cover it over. I've got my line so I can get a straight line. It's just a bit of string with 2 little attachments, so I'll put one in one end, one in the other, and then go along that line so they're nice and straight, and I know where I've planted them then. And then I just do a little rake over, and as they start growing through, I then pull more soil, rake more soil over so that they're covered over, and then they end up in a mound. So that'll be just keeping an eye on them. When you see some green growing, just start covering them over. So off we go. Okay, so this is where my first row of potatoes are going to go. So I've got my string, and I'm just going to put one there, not too close to the edge, because you need to get a mound to grow up. And then just pull the string down. Hopefully it doesn't get knotted. And keeping it taut. Right, that looks probably about even. And just pop that one in there. So let's just have a little measure, make sure they are the same distance away. Alright, I need to move that one over. It's deceiving when you're looking at it from one end to the other because it looks like the same distance apart, but it's not. That's quite a way out. So that's got to go there. Alright. So that's the rows, the string. Just tighten it up a little bit. That's it. There we go, and it's getting warm, so I'm going to take my coat off. I can't. Alright. So the first earlies are called Pentland Javelin. I've never actually grown these before, so I'm giving them ones a go. And these are what I started to chit at home, and as you can see, they've got a nice bit of growth, so you've got to be careful that you don't damage them when you're putting them in. So I'm doing 1 row. I've got 29 potatoes. So working out 29 into here, you're probably looking at about it's 22 foot long. You're probably looking at about, I don't know, every sort of 4 inches. So what I'll do first, I'm going to place the potato where I'm going to plant them, and then I can move them as I'm going along if need be. So as you can see, I'm sort of spacing them out because you don't want them too close together, but then you don't also want them too far apart. But because I've got a few here, I might have to move them up a tad so they are a bit closer together. Right, because I've still got another 14 to put in. So let me start this end on there. So I think I'm going to have to move them in slightly. Don't have to be perfectly spaced, but I want to get them all out in one row. So, and I was trying to make sure that the chitty bit is pointing to the top and not to the bottom of the potato when I put it in. So I'm going to have to move some of these up a bit. So that they're spaced out a bit. Alright, 2 more to go. Alright, so they look evenly spaced. So, right, they're there. So now I'm just going to get my drill and make a hole where they're going to go. It's just easy. You just put your soil, drill in and make a hole. You don't need to go too deep, but obviously deep enough so that you're covering the potato. Trench. It's so much easier than doing a trench, which becomes backbreaking, where this is just literally, see how quick it is. Right, so that's the holes done. So quick. And now I'm just going to get my feed. So I've just got the handful and just sprinkling over the holes. Okay. Then as I say, this lasts, it says it lasts all season, so I don't have to feed it. Right, that's that bit done. Right, so now just pop the potatoes in the holes. As I say, making sure that the best bit of the chitty bit, the greeny bit, is pointing upwards, and just pop them in.
Try that again.
The little chitty bit there. So, and then just pop them in. If you find the hole's not deep enough, you can just move a bit of soil. That's where I've loosened it with the drill. You might find some stones as well. So, just pop them in. Once these are in, I'm just then going to get a drop of water, just to give them a little soak in. and my label. So I put one label one end, one on the other side, know where they are. So let me just go and do that now and get some water. Okay, so I've got the water. I'm just going to take my string out. Actually, I can just move that over because I'm going to need it for the next row. I'll just move that drilled on, that getting wet. Alright, okay. So I just got a little drop of water, I don't need a lot. Just give it a little bit of a soak in, as they don't need an awful lot. That's like half a watering can full. Alright, let's pop that out of the way. And just get the rake. And then what I do is I just rake a bit from one side, like that, over. Right, I've got a label there, and then on this one I've got written down Pentland Javelin and the date they were planted. So I'm going to just put that one up the other end, so I know where my row is. Alright, let's pop it in there, and then get the rake and just rake them over into a little bit of a mound. Doesn't need to be a big mound at the moment because they're in the quite shallow, but just do like a little ridge so you know where they are. And then when they start sprouting over or sprouting out, I'll take some from this side so this mounds up a little bit higher then. Just carry on until the row's covered. Right, so that saved me a lot of time doing it with the auger. Less back breaking, because I'd still be digging the trench by now, and these are in. So as you can see, how easy that was. And then nearly at the end, and these will be ready hopefully within sort of 10 to 12 weeks, the first earlies, so you don't have to wait too long. So that's that one done. Let's see how quick it was from start to finish. Probably 20 minutes. So just make sure it's all covered over. So I don't need to water it again because I watered it before I covered it over. The only time I'll water it is obviously when it's really dry, which if we don't have any rain, I will have to. So that's that one done. So I'll crack on with the next one, and then I'll show you at the end the first earlies and second earlies. Right, so the plumb line's down. My second earlies are called Nicola. I've only got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 5, 10, no I haven't, I've got 5, 10, 15, 16, I've got 20 of these, so they can be spaced out a little bit more because I had more of the Pentland Javelin to put out than these ones. So I'm going to space these out just like I did the other ones. Just pop them. So as I say, I can probably get away with doing these a little bit further apart. So they're spaced out. Right, my plumb line's gone a bit blowy, so I'm just going to tighten that up a bit. So I've got the drill, and then I just literally make a hole. So as I say, I'll crack on with this and then show you at the end. Right, let's put them in. And I'm just going to start making a little mound over. So, only needs a little bit now. So these are in now. These are called Nicola. I have grown these in the past. I fancied a change again from last year. So potato, Nicola and the date, which is the 17th. I'll put them in there. These second earliest take 10 to 14 weeks. So depending on obviously how many you get, you can obviously probably leave them in a bit longer, but that's on average when they say they're going to be ready by 10 to 14 weeks. So I'll just stick this label in this end here. So that's in. And I'll leave my main potatoes for another couple of weeks because I don't want them all sort of coming, you know, growing together. So I'll leave these, and once these start showing the green, I'll then put my other ones in, my main crop. So that's the potatoes done now. I'm going to have a drink, and then I'm going to do my onions, shallots next, and carrots, beetroots and parsnips. So that's that job done. Right, let's just get rid of this mud off of here.